Matt Taylor is with me, BBC meteorologist. The weather's a big part of this, Matt, as we can hear. And, of course, I suppose predicting the weather is massive for airlines.
It is, and they're well served with forecasts even before they set off. One thing that's issued 4 times a day is called the WAFC SIG weather chart, which covers parts of the globe, tells pilots where areas of strong winds, where your clear air turbulence is most likely, where you like to see thunderstorms, again, areas of severe potentially moderate or severe turbulence. So they go out every 4 hours, they use that, but throughout their flights, they're always being fed back from other pilots who've encountered turbulence. Not all of it can be easily forecast. Some of it, such as clear air turbulence, you can't see. And it's all down, I think we forget just how fluid our atmosphere is. It's all down to how the atmosphere, the winds are changing, not just from east, west, north, south, but also up and down through the atmosphere. And it's encountering sudden changes which can cause these sudden drops in the plane, sudden rises as well, and those pretty bumpy journeys.
And I suppose what you might call micro weather, in any particular spot an airline is, you can't be doing a forecast for that. You'd be busy 24/7.
And you've got to remember, the atmosphere is still very chaotic. You can't forecast for every square centimetre of the atmosphere. But they do a pretty good job in trying to identify the areas at greatest risk for pilots. And some of those, including the jet stream, of course, pilots will use their advantage to get quicker from one place to another. There's been instances in the past decade or so where planes from New York to London have taken less than 5.5 hours.
So storms, different wind speeds, the interplay between air and mountains, all a factor when this turbulence happens. But This morning on the radio, I heard them saying climate change is now part of this.
There have been studies to work out if climate change is having an impact, and one such from Reading University, led by Professor Paul Williams, has identified, certainly in the North Atlantic, that the instance of severe turbulence, while still very rare, I have to point out it's not very common, but has increased by around 55% with the rise in temperature we've seen. The globe warming is causing the jet stream in places to speed up. Of course, as I said, advantage in some parts, but when you've got a particularly strong jet stream around it, the winds are much, much lighter. That bigger contrast can cause almost like the air to buckle. And it's that which causes clear air turbulence, which when you encounter, and we've all encountered it on a transatlantic flight if you've ever flown that, can be quite sudden and can be quite worrying, but most of the time you can cope with it.
Thank you. Fascinating. As always, Matt Taylor, BBC meteorologist, talking about turbulence on an aircraft, and we'd love your stories. Vine at bbc.co.uk.